in Crypto Corner, we're going to be revisiting the realm of the Sasquatch. So, welcome to Crypto Corner. Today, we're not looking at a video of Sasquatch. No, we're not reviewing any video, new or old. We're not looking at any photos or examining anything that we visually review and say, is this a Sasquatch or a guy in a suit or something natural? We won't have that that chance today. We're also not reviewing an old sighting that someone had. We're not listening to a story and kind of cracking it open and trying to see what someone might have experienced that made them think they were experiencing a Sasquatch. What we are going to listen to today, because we're going to listen to something, is called the Sierra Sounds. They are alleged Bigfoot sounds, and we'll see what we think. So, let's have a listen. Okay, so what I've done here is I've started off with kit foxes. Oh, let me lay some groundwork for this first. Oh goodness, I keep getting ahead of myself. So I was actually on Squatch Talk just the other day, and we were talking about the Sierra Sounds, and I suggested that they were a fox, and I kept saying gray fox, and I said that's a gray fox sound. Kept telling them that over and over again, insisting that I got audio clips of gray foxes. I couldn't find good audio of gray foxes, and I was so annoyed. I'm like, all I could do was get their low chuffing sound when they're like calling out to their babies or looking for a mate or whatever. I did get a little bit of squeaking and whatnot, but just in general, it wasn't really convincing. And they were like, oh, that doesn't sound like what we're hearing on the Sierra Sounds at all. And I was like, I gotta agree that it doesn't, because I was talking about the wrong fox. See, I used to be a moderator on Carnivora Forum. It's a forum that we've talked about animals, the nerdy animal stuff that I know all about. There's a whole forum of us that we just talked and argued about ecology papers and posted new research data on different animals and stuff. It was a good time. But one of the things that I really enjoyed about it was the wildlife sound thread. So there was a thread that was just dedicated to sharing different animal sounds. And one of the things that I really always thought was wild to listen to was the foxes. And I was thinking of the wrong fox when I was talking to Squatch Talk, but I'd heard them before. I knew that they existed. These audio clips of the foxes making wild sounds. It's a swift fox, not a kit fox, or not a gray fox. Not a kit fox either, but not a gray fox. It's a swift fox that I was thinking of that make the weird sounds that sound like the Sierra Sounds. So, without further delay, we're going to listen to the Sierra Sounds here in a moment, but I want to listen to, first I've laid down a recording of gray foxes, there I go again, of swift foxes. These ones are in captivity, just to give some layout to it. So they are going to be maybe not having exactly the natural behaviors, but they're in captivity and they're playing and interacting with one another. So here we'll listen to that and definitely. Oh. All right. For anybody asking, yes, I did make that spectrograph myself. I am that big of a nerd. All that was I made myself, and I had to make it in 30-second clips at the time because the generator that I use wouldn't make them any longer, and I have about 4 or 5 minutes of clips. So yeah, but that was the does sound a bit like a ferret. I could definitely see that. Now, it didn't sound exactly like the Sierra sounds. It just sounded a little bit. There was a little bit more high pitch to it, so I slowed it down. This is at 0.7 speed, so not super slowed down, just enough to kind of give us an interpretation of what we were, what it would sound like, maybe echoing through the woods from a short distance, maybe a couple 100 yards or so. Oh, I thought I did. There it is. All right, so that was the swift foxes. Let me answer a couple questions I saw pop in here real quick before we actually listen to the Sierra sound itself. Because I saw that first of all, I saw that Reverb Twang is in here, and Reverb Twang is a fellow atheist like myself that had some Bigfoot encounters and does some research. We did talk about maybe having an email conversation. I'm still down for that, Reverb Twang. I'd love to hear your story and your experience, and I'd love to hear about your research as well. Let me see here. Flying Sasquatch, Big Zebra. Yeah, that'd be awesome. I actually got my friend Quill on Twitter made me my own cryptid. It's a river monster. There's great blurry photos of it if you haven't seen them. Custom made for me. All right, you have thousands of hours of boots on the ground and research. Yes, okay, I'm interested. Count me in. I'm not mocking. I maybe it seems like I'm mocking. I people who have been around the Hive longer know that I'm a wanna believer. I would be elated to discover any cryptid that was still alive. I would be ecstatic about that if I discovered a cryptid that was still walking among us. So, I mean, don't misplace your interpretation of me, because I spent years believing in this stuff. If I come across a little jaded, I apologize, but my lived experience has been researching this stuff, and I have boots on the ground experience too. I've been all over this area in the Midwest, different forested regions. I've been in the New Mexico, Arizona area. I've done hiking excursions there in the Smokies. I've been out there. I haven't ever left the U.S. To do any kind of research or anything, or look for anything. And I say research, I mean, I wasn't like out researching. It was like, we go on a family vacation and we take a hike into the woods, and I go explore and look for cool things. A lot of times I'm looking for bugs and stuff, but sometimes I'm looking for Bigfoot tracks and things like that too. So don't misinterpret me as someone who's just a scoffer. because I have to go follow where the evidence leads. It's the way my brain's wired, so I can't just say, okay, until I have something physical that I can sink my teeth into, something that says, yes, this is indeed evidence of a unknown hominid species in the North American forest. But until that time, I have to be credulous. I have to put everything under the microscope. All right, so let's listen to this last part here. This is the actual Sierra sounds, and then we'll kind of bounce back and forth between some of them and see what we think. Okay. It does sound like a chihuahua. I was telling my wife that when we were listening to them. They do have there's a sound that one of them makes. It sound like the growling, grumbling one. It sounds like a chihuahua. And yes, I can't find it. Someone asked if swift foxes live in the Sierras. Yes, they do. They're actually pretty common. They're like a Rocky Mountain area species. So from the Rockies all the way to the Sierras, I believe, you can find swift foxes, at least up as far north as like maybe Wyoming. We could look at a map at some point. Maybe I'll share a map. Anyway, here is the Sierra sound. Sorry, I keep dragging this out. Good morning, student Dr. Ben. You missed the ladybugs and how to protect your pot plants. So if you're wanting that information, you got to roll back and have a look. But we are just getting into the Sierra sounds. We listened to some foxes here a moment ago. Now we're about to listen to the alleged Sasquatch audio. Here we go. Like a Tasmanian devil. There's the fox. Fox? Sierra sound. No, I'm not saying it's an exact match here. It is curious, though, I would say, that, and we look at the spectrogram. That's what I want everybody to look at. That's this guy right here. Okay, so we're going to look at how it is with the foxes. Got it peeking in these short, make sure this is the right part. Hold on. So a nice solid growl across here. Let's see, and then we get to, where's the good growls at? I think they're back a little bit. Let's try that one. Nice growl right there. So, I don't know, this, to me, this seems like it's lower than this. So the Sierra sounds are definitely a lower range of sound than our kit foxes or kit foxes. But the sounds it makes, the range of sounds that it makes, very similar. Very similar to our little wild canines. So, the Sierra sounds are supposed to be Sasquatch making sounds off in the woods. It sounds like frustration for sure. Right, that's and basically 411. Right, I think of lots of howls and stuff too, but this is what was presented to me as evidence on Squatch Talk. They said, "Hey, these Sierra sounds are unknown." I listened to them. The very first thing that popped in my head was these sounds of the swift foxes. This how they sound like they're talking, the chattering. Yeah, there's a lot of similarity there, in my opinion. There? There. It just seems like this is a, I don't want to make an accusation, but it almost seems like this is a slowed down version of this. We got it at 0.7. Let's see if we can slow it down a little bit more and see if it can make it sound even more like it. Let's see. We're going to slow it all the way down to 0.25. Okay, let's do that. Let's see how the foxes sound now. Too slow. Let's slow it down to, speed it up to 0.5. Let's keep space here. 0.75. Yeah, these are the moorhead sounds. And this is to the foxes here. We're listening to right now are foxes. This is, I don't know what the speed is now. It's 0.75 or 0.7, so it'd be like 0.56 or something like that. Really close to half speed of the original. And then we'll go back to normal speed. And we'll listen to the Sasquatch again, the Sierra sound. Tell me I'm not the only one who hears this. And I could be. It could be pareidolia, where I'm interpreting that that one sounds similar to the other because of my bias. Because we all have bias. That could be the case with this audio. If you agree, if you disagree, Tell me in the side chat here. Tell me in the comments down below if you think that I'm wrong. But to me, Brainbug's humble opinion, this sounds like a slowed down swift fox. Maybe multiple swift foxes. Maybe a swift fox interacting with another animal like a badger or something like that. But it definitely does sound like something organic. I don't doubt for a moment that an animal of some type is making this noise. But to say that it's got to be a Bigfoot and it's got to be Sasquatch because some preconceived notion that we have in our brains that if we hear weird, vocalizations in the forest, they gotta be coming from a hominid, and they can't be coming from some other native creature that we just don't hear make sounds too often, except for when it's in a certain situation or when it feels comfortable. Foxes aren't going to be loud and wild and crazy when we're sitting there watching them all the time, but when you hear them in the forest late at night when they're playing and interacting with one another, it's a whole nother story. All right, let me just check my comments again, just to make sure I didn't miss anything. As I saw Vandalia come in here this morning, and I'm glad to see you, bud. As for bears, if it's brown, like down. If it's black, fight back. They say that did used to be the common safety protocol for dealing with a brown bear is to lay down, but there's also a school of thought that says the best thing you can do is try to keep something in between you and the bear, because we can make tighter turns than bears can. That's our major advantage when dealing with them. So you can actually wear a bear out by just making it chase you around or back and forth around a tree. Something I do to my dog all the time. That's how we play. We have an island in our kitchen and just go on either side of it. And I could do that to a bear if I had to, and if it's effective. Dr. Ben is here. Student Dr. Ben, good to see ya. Let's see here, and ever hear a koala mating? Yeah, I've heard some koala sounds. They're wild. I also saw that there's a cute video of a koala that gets kicked out of its tree and sits on the ground crying like a human child. It's pretty adorable. And the one that kicks it out is making some sounds that sound very similar to a gray fox, like that sound. He was being really aggressive. The other one sounds like sounds like a baby crying too. I thought I caught on the video frames and nowhere. We need some links, Reverb. If I give you I know I just met you, but I'm going to give you a wrench because I want you to link if you have any content out there that I could look at and engage with. Where are we? The other one sounds like yes. There we go. Coming down to wrench you. This will take just a second here. And if you have anything to share, any links or anything, drop them in the chat. I will I come back and watch this stuff through a lot, and I will grab it. It does sound like a Tasmanian devil pomo. They sound pretty aggressive too. Sounds like a dirty old man pixie. All right. And then Dr. Mordecai Jones is taking responsibility for that. Let's see. When in doubt, bear spray. That's always a good idea. Oh yeah, I saw that they were going to rap last night, but I was too tired to stay up and watch it. Oz and Bar were going to rap last night. I missed it. Who won? Let us know in the side chat here. I'm not afraid of Bigfoot. I'm afraid of big old snakes. Well, it depends on what kind of snake it is, I guess. For the most part, I'm pretty okay with snakes. Okay, what do we got next here? Ooh, yeah. All right, so that was CrypticCorner looking at or listening to, and we weren't looking at anything, listening to the Sierra sounds, which are allegedly some unknown creature making noises in the woods to me, and me alone. If my side chat agrees with me, that's okay. If they don't, that's fine too. But to me, it sounds like a swift fox with the audio slowed down about half speed. That's what it sounds like to me. Just my opinion. I'm not an audio expert, but we did listen to both those animals and the alleged Sasquatch. So you tell me what you think.